because her parents said I couldn't be with her daughter if I didn't graduate from William Penn High School at least, so I did that all mainly for her, not even for myself, and so I dropped out and shit, and that's what really did it too. And I was a dickhead. I was a dickhead in relationships. You know what I mean? I was possessive and control of my girlfriends back then, bro. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, I you know what I mean? Like, dictate sometimes what they could do or not do. It's just, when I was younger, I was just wild and, you know what I mean? Crazy, like we were.
We knew how Newcastle was, too. Everybody was trying to fuck everybody.
Yes. Yeah, right. Right. And when you got, and most of the girls, you got the smuts from Newcastle. And when you finally lay down with somebody and love them, you're protective of them. That's all it was. And I seen my dad do it to my mom, being real protective and control. So me at 16, I didn't actually know what I was doing until after the fact. It took me to like 18, like 2 years later, to realize, like, damn, that's the reason that she broke up with me, is for that shit. So, you know what I mean? But she's the only one that really made an impact positively in my life like that. And it was only for a short 8 months of my life, but she impacted it majorly in a positive way. And she's the only really woman that really did that I never got high with, and we never got high. It was just pure, sober, innocent, didn't break no laws. I didn't hang out with no bad people. None of that. Stopped doing drinking and smoking weed. We just smoked cigarettes once in a while, shit like that. And that was it, man. Like kids are supposed to do at 16.
You grew up in a neighborhood, every neighborhood, like, not wanted to be, like, 10 Acres was that place. Like, I consider that the rich neighborhood. All the houses.
It was, yeah.
300,000. They got pools in the backyard.
Yeah.
When I got my baby mom with Katie, and I lived in 10 Acres, I mean, I'm 18 years old. I'm stealing cars, robbing houses, and I'm on top of the world. I got a badass chick. You know what I'm saying? I lived in a fucking big, nice house, or, you know what I mean? Like, I thought I was on top of the world living in 10 Acres. I mean, I loved Mickwell, but it was like, I got out of my neighborhood. I had my chance. I fucked up, but I had my chance. I got out of Mickwell.
You're right.
I regret that shit. I fucked up.
You're right. I did an interview with Danny Hartnett on Facebook, and he said, yeah, that's how all of us looked at Penn Acres as rich. You know what I mean? My only people in my family was my grandparents that lived on both mom and dad's side on North Penn Acres, like 5 minutes away from each other, and Hazlitt Avenue, my dad's side, was right where the school is. So the barbed wire fence was where that little elementary school was. So
I know we were talking about
you know what I mean? That's my dad's side, and then my mom's side, you're in 212. So yeah, he said he agreed also. That's what we looked at as rich people. Penn Acres was the rich area. So right. So yeah, you're right. They didn't have no sidewalks, just a lawn and straight right to the gutter.
We didn't even have a basketball court. We didn't even have no park.
You're lucky to even have a driveway. You probably drove on the grass.
Oh, we had driveways. No, we had driveways.
I know.
We didn't have driveways. Hey,
were you free when my boy from back in the day, Mike Tempanella, he lived across the street? Did you know? Were you there when he moved there from Chelsea? Because he was. No, I was like, damn, you're from Chelsea moving to Mickwell. Because I remember Chelsea and Mickwell used to fight each other and shit.
Yeah, I used to go down Mike's house all the time. He lived in a trailer. He lived in the house next to the trailer down Mickwell, all the way in the back of Mickwell.
He was on like heading down the hill. If the police station's on your left, he was on the left-hand side of Mickwell.
Yeah, that's where I live. He lived 2 streets down from me. He lived next to where Mike Corello. Well, he moved in where Mike Corello and his baby mom Jacqueline.
It was like a back street. It was like a little back dirt road type, and the house was on the left.
Yeah, it was a big yellow house. It was a 2-story house.
Yeah, 2-story house. Right. I was like, damn. I was like, you're leaving Chelsea to live here? He was like, I can't help it. My dad bought the house. You know what I mean? But
don't get it fucked up. Mickwell was a different kind of neighborhood, man. We was all family. Look, when I was growing up, everybody was related to me. Everybody. There wasn't nobody really in the neighborhood that wasn't related to us.
We also, me and Dan Harnett, we also talked about how the neighborhoods would fight. Chelsea was fighting Mickwell at one summer or some shit. 2 football fields in between the road. So we walked through every street of Mickwell. Then a few people came out. Then after like 6 or half a dozen, then another dozen came. Then we were outnumbered, and then nothing really happened, I don't think. Then we decided to leave or some shit, but there was some, I asked Dan Hart, I was like, who was this big fat, there was a big fat white boy that always from me. Who was his name? Big fat white guy.
Oh, you might be talking about Ricky Hauk. Ricky Hauk. Ricky. Yeah, Ricky.
Yeah, he was a big fat dude, and he was about to get down. The motherfucker came with some pipes and chains and shit. He started walking by himself and shit, and then see with me, with being in Leadham Estates, it's not Chelsea, but it kind and Mount. See, yeah, it's not Chelsea, but it kind of is. I guess it would ride with Chelsea, but I'm also
It goes right into it. It goes from
yeah. I'm talking like neighborhood and friends wise. So I guess they would have to ride with Chelsea. That's what I did. So, but Manor Park Apartments too, though. I hung out there just as much as I did Chelsea. I mean, apartments. I was always
up there too, yup.
with Chris
Remember
McClemens,
Lafayette? It used to call Manor Park and then Lafayette Apartments.
my boy Chris McClemens, Ed Cortez. You know him, right?
Oh, man.
You know
his
Ed.
brother was my best friend in middle school.
Who?
Died. Sean. He died.
Oh yeah, little Sean. Right.
Yeah, that was my best friend.
Yeah, Chris McClemens. I grew up with him.
Global Telling.
You there? Damn. Should just cut off. Maybe he'll call back.